fr.com, and let's say the threat intel report tell you that there is a malware in attacking that is coming in the wild, which communicate with this URL. So what you do is that you just block this URL. You just block this URL with a hope that if any system like computer 1, computer 2 get infected, what will happen is that the malware will not be able to kind of connect to the C2 server. And what will also do is that it will also alert your team that, okay, the malware is running on, suppose C1 and C2, for an example. Okay. So, but the thing is, like, if the malware is kind of, let's say, trying to communicate with their C2 server, okay, and let's say you get this domain as from the threat intel report, So what the malware can do is that, because it is generating thousands of similar URLs from the DZ algorithm that it is utilizing, maybe the one that it utilizes is something like this to kind of connect the C2 server. So even though you have the one of the IOC, you will not be able to block the malware. You will not be able to block the malware from communicating to its C2 server. Okay. So this is actually one of the way the malware uses to kind of communicate to the C2 server, even when it knows that, okay, the person SOC team will be blocking them. But this is how they actually avoid doing, actually blocking the thing. The other thing is that also the other benefit that, as I told earlier, is that when you do a log searching, or you set up an alert in the same tool or we.fr.com, definitely you will get an hits and you will kind of knowing that, okay. But if you go on this domain and you set up an alert for this, or let's say you set up an alert, or you look at the log files, maybe you wouldn't get even a 0. So you will get 0 hits out of that, for example. In most cases, this will be the only scenario. You will get 0 hits after that, because the malware is not just communicating with one domain, but it is communicating with 1 out of 1,000 domains that it has generated by a DT algorithm. And that's way thing is that it will be able to avoid two things. It will be able to avoid detection, as well as it will be able to avoid blocking. Okay. So I hope this answers your question. Is there any concern or any more? Do you need any more clarity on this?
No, thank you. So actually, it means the attacker will be registering so many domains. So in the real time, they'll be like putting the money and registering all those domains to be used for the malware, right?
Yes. Yes. So they will do that either, maybe let's say hundreds of them they have registered, pre-registered. And they can also do that is that they can also, maybe even though after the malware, they have initiated the malware attack, they can do the registration even after that. Okay. So let's say what happened is, let's say one of the domain was known to the threat intel team. And what they did is that they told the threat intel team or the SOC guys worked with the legal team, for an example, and the legal team told the hosting provider that, guys, take down this 100 domains. The hosting provider is actually, they need to kind of follow the legal order, and they need to kind of deregister this 100 domain that the malware author has actually registered. Okay. So this is something the malware author is already knowing about, that this scenario can come up, that even though they have registered these URLs, maybe the SOC team, what we normally also do is that we actually ask most of the time is that we ask the legal team to tell the hosting provider to deregister this domain. So what will happen is that the malware, so it is not that the malware author will lose the control over the malware. Okay. The malware author will do that this time, they will again run their own, the same DZ algorithm, and then they will generate thousands, so let's say thousands of new domains, okay, which is different from the ones they have generated earlier. And in that 1,000, what they will do is that they will register again new domains. In that 1,000, let's say they will register new domains, let's say 200 of them. Okay. Now the malware is utilizing the same DZ algorithm. So let's say if it is not able to communicate to this 100 domains because this were deregistered, it will generate another, let's say 10,000. And there is a very high chance that at least one of them will be registered in out of 200 that was registered by the malware author. So even though legal team has also kind of done their part, they have told the hosting provider to deregister the domain, but then also what will happen is that the malware authors will be successful, and they will be able to kind of have a proper connection with their malware C2 server. The malware will be able to kind of communicate with the C2 server. So it's very tough to kind of block. It is very tough to kind of uh, let the malware to kind of avoid detection. It can easily kind of avoid detection, avoid blocking. So the only thing that can be done is that we shouldn't depend on just one IOC. We need to kind of go on and do the malware analysis, and figure out are there any new IOCs in the wild in the malware that we can use, that even though the malware is trying to evade their detection by the URL, can we use any other IOCs like mutex and all, for example, mutex or any other signatures that we can use to kind of detect the malware in our enterprise environment. Okay, so this is how the normal things work for the DGA domain. And do you need any other clarity on this one?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. So I hope this was clear about a DGA part and how the malware can do that. And one of the way by which we can also do is like, let's say, let me just go to that. Just give me 1 second, guys. And let's say you are the malware writer, for example. Okay. Because thing is that being a malware analyst, because this is one of the things that you should, as a SOC professional, being a fresher, this is one of the core technique or the skills that every SOC team member should have, which is the malware analysis, having the knowledge how to analyze a malware. So to analyze a malware, the one of the thing is that we should also know how to develop that malware. By that only we'll be able to kind of do the analysis in a much better way. So to do that, one of the thing is that what you can do is, let me just search for that. Let me just go to that. Yes, this is the one. Okay, so let me just go to this one and do clear and nano complete.py. Let me just there's this script over here. Okay, and now what it is doing, this script what it is doing is that it is this is the script that you can utilize. Maybe since suppose you're writing a malware which is based out of Python, for example, you can utilize this base script actually to generate DGA domain for you. Okay, so this is one of the algorithm that that the malware normally uses to kind of generate DGA domain. Okay, so what you can do is that you can there are certain functionality in Python like random to generate random strings, and string command is to just kind of handle strings. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just giving a seed value. So because this algorithm will generate randomness, so I need to give a seed value to start with. Okay, so I'm just keeping this code to be a simple thing. There can be a lot of parameters that will go to the seed value, like let's say what will be the my mouse position, what is the screen position, what is the screen resolution. So those all values you can use as a seed. Okay, so right now I'm keeping that as simple. Let's say the seed value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm doing is I'm calling this algorithm. I'm calling this function. And guys, not worry, all the codes that I'm showcasing to you, I will kind of share that via paste link to you. Okay. So thing is that I'm calling this function with a seed value. And what this is doing is that it is going to this function, it typing the seed value, and then it is creating another random dot seed. Let's say it has this list of top level domains, and then it is what it is doing, it is picking a random length of the domain. Okay, so using this function, what you can do is that you can pick any integer value between 8 to 12 in a random manner. Okay, so sometimes it can be 8, sometimes it can be 9, sometimes it can be 12, but the range is something like this. So what we do is that let's say we do something like, let's say 12 to, let's say 13, or let's say 17. Okay, so the range of the value will be something, it will be random, it will be picked from 12 to 17. And then what we are doing is we are creating a domain out of that. Okay, we are creating a domain, and then we are saving all those domain and printing that out. Okay, so let's see this code in action. Okay, So this is the code.